Hey everybody, we are going to talk about analyzing solutions today, and what that means is the types of outcomes that you may have when you're solving an equation. So let's get started. Okay, so a solution to an equation is going to make a true statement. So think about something like 7 equals 7. That is a true statement. Something like 2 equals 7 is not a true statement. So we're looking for true statements to be created when we have correctly solved an equation. Okay, so what could happen when we're solving an equation? There are three main things that could happen when we are getting our variable by itself, which is what we're doing when we're solving an equation. We could have one solution. We could end up with one solution or a couple of solutions that work and make that true statement. Or we could have a situation where we have infinitely many solutions. Anything plugged into that equation is going to work, and I'll show you that. Third thing we're going to talk about is a type of equation that would have no solution. So we'll take a look at that as well. Alright, so we'll start with our first example. 8x plus 3 equals 27. You can see this up here at the top. We're going to see what happens when we try to solve this equation. Solving an equation, remember, means getting the variable by itself. So our goal here is to get our x by itself on one side of the equal sign. So let's use our opposite operations to do that. Alright. So we have an 8 and a 3 over here beside our x, and we need to get rid of both of those. So since we have a plus 3, we're going to subtract 3, remember. And now we have 8x equals 24. 8 is being multiplied by x, so we need to divide that 8. Okay. To get rid of it, so 24 divided by 8 is going to give us 3, so x equals 3. We just arrived at one solution. So I've got a little test down here that you can plug your solution back into to see if it truly works. We said that our solution was 3. So picture our original statement, 8x plus 3 equals 27. If we put that 3 back in for x, we would have 8 times 3, which is 24, plus 3 gives us 27. So notice 27 equals 27. That is true. That is a true statement. So our solution does work, and this equation has one solution. Alright, so let's take a look at a different example. 9x minus 4 equals negative 4 plus 9x. So think about those opposite operations that we're going to have to use to get our variable by itself to solve for that x. We need to get our variables on the same side of the equation so that we can add our like terms. So let's move one of our 9x terms over to the other side. So I'm going to move this one. It's a positive 9x, so I'm just going to subtract him over. And what I'm going to end up seeing here is that our x's actually totally go away. They are no more. So we do end here. We can't go any further. We've got negative 4 equals negative 4, which is a true statement. However, we are left with no variable, so we were not able to find a single solution for that variable. What's happening here is that this equation has infinitely many solutions, meaning I could plug any value in for that x and I would get a true statement. Remember, we have to get a true statement for it to work. Alright, and here's our last example. 6x minus 2 equals 6x plus 10. Now you can see the top here, I've kind of given it away. This is an equation with no solution, and I'm going to show you why. Think about the opposite operations we're going to use to get our variable by itself. We need to move them to one side of the equal sign so that we can combine those like terms. So again, if I move one of my 6x terms over, take a look at what's going to happen again. On that other side, I'm left with no variable. just like last time. 6x minus 6x is no x's. So I'm left with -2 on the left side and 10 on the right, which does not equal, so it is not a true statement. What's happening here is I could try any value and it would not work. That means this equation has no solution. Okay, so let's review what we've seen. We can work on opposite operations to solve an equation and see what outcomes may happen. We may have one solution, we may have infinitely many, or we may have none. And here's what you're going to be on the lookout for to figure out what's happening. If you get a true statement, then that means that you either have infinitely many solutions or you have correctly solved for the one solution that works in your equation. Okay, when you see some number equals the same number and that is a true statement and that's all you're left with, that means your equation has infinitely many solutions. When you end with a statement that is a number equaling a different number, which is false, that means that equation has no solutions. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps.